Okay, so just the pre part of this, you're going to take this sheet of paper, it is front and back, you're going to fold it in like this, and then cut the flaps on the dotted line, and you should have that done. Go ahead and pause the video until you get that taken care of. So each flap should look like this, okay? So we're going to talk about inequality statements. It should be a review. I think some of y'all got this last year, and I'm hoping it's just a review, but just to kind of refresh our mind, it's been a little while. This sign right here is a greater than sign, so we're going to write the wording that goes with these signs. So for example, this sign, you could see words such as is greater than. Okay, we're going to talk about changing from words to inequality statements and going on. Okay, so another option that you could find is more than. Because this doesn't, it's going to not include that number. It's going to be bigger than that number, and that's where we're, and then the last option is going to be exceeds. There are more. These are just some ones that you might see more often than not. Okay, so is greater than, is more than, and exceeds. Okay, we're going to open this up in here, and on this little inside right here, we're going to draw a number line. I'm just going to draw a small little number line with 0, 1, 2, 3, and then negative 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to write this statement, x is greater than 1. Okay? So how we graph this on the number line, we graph it by saying, giving it an open circle on the number 1, and it's telling us that x is greater than 1, so that means we shade to the right of our circle, okay? That's telling us that all the solutions for this set are greater than 1. So we could put anything to the right of this in for x, and it's going to say it's going to hold true. So for example, 2 is one of my solutions. 2 is greater than 1. Yes, that works. So that's a solution to the set. 3 is greater than 1. Yes, that's a solution, so it works to the set. So back on the front, when you're done graphing it, I want you to put in quotation marks, open, on that section right there for greater than, because it's going to be an open circle, because it does not include that number. Okay? Moving over to less than. This is the less than sign, so our first word is going to be is less than. Okay, so like x is less than 2, that could be is fewer than, and there's not any that I come to right off the top of my head, so we're just going to stick with these two for right now. If we think of any more, we can put it in there, but it is also going to be an open dot. Okay, so an open dot for this. So I want you to open up. We're going to kind of do the same thing we did on the left side. We're going to draw a number line. Put 0, 1, 2, 3, and negative 1, 2, 3. Okay? And so I'm going to say x is less than 1. Okay, so that statement means that I put a open dot on 1, and I'm going to shade to the left. Okay? Because it's saying anything less than 1. So if I look at my statements, I'm going to say that negative 3, or I'm sorry, this is negative 2, is less than 1. Yes, that's true. That makes that statement true. Negative 1 is less than 1. 0 is less than 1. All of those things fit in that. Even if we went to right to the edge of 1, we said 0.5. 0.5 is still less than 1. So all of those statements fit that. Okay? We're going to scoot down to the second half. So the second half is greater than or equal to. So that's going to be our first statement. We're going to say is greater than or equal to. Okay. Our second one is going to be is no less than. Is no less than. So you could say x is no less than 5 or 3 or whatever, okay? And then our last one is going to be is at least. Is at least, okay? So is at least. So if you look at this, this is going to be a, what type of dot? It's going to be a closed dot because we're going to include the number that it's on. Okay, so a closed dot. So open it up. And I want you to draw a number line. Do the same thing. You're just kind of just making a small little number line. So we're going to say X is greater than or equal to -1. Okay? So -1, we're going to draw the circle on -1. And we're going to shade it in because it includes -1. And then we're going to shade to the right. Okay? So we're going to shade to the right because any of these numbers this way will work as a solution. For example, 2 is greater than or equal to -1. Yes, that's a true statement. That makes that true. Okay? So last section is less than or equal to. So of course that's going to be our first wording. Is less than or equal to okay, so less than or equal to, and then my second wording is going to be is no more than and my third is going to be is at most. Okay, this is also going to be a closed dot because it can be equal to. So we're also going to have a closed dot on that. Okay, so open it up. We're going to draw that same little number line that we've been drawing. And you know your number lines can be different. We're just doing this as an example. Okay, and so we're going to say X is less than or equal to -1. So on -1, we're going to do a closed dot. But instead of, we're going to shade to the left. So I'm going to tell you a little secret, and it's not really a secret because you should be able to figure that out. But when the variable is on the left side, it's always going to point the direction you're shading. But your variable must be on the left side for that statement to work. Okay? So variables on the left side. So variables on the left side here. Variables on the left side here. But if it's on the other side, it's going to be opposite. But just for your statement, think variables on the left side is going to tell me which way. So I should shade this way because it's pointing this way. I should shade that way because it's pointing that way. Okay? But always say it in your head. X is less than or equal to -1. What number is less than -1? Well, -2, -3. So that always works too. So that's where you should have. Once you're done with this, I need you to glue it to a like a sheet of paper, a sheet of notebook paper. Guys, 5 dots or so. We're gonna do it in 2 separate things. So glue it to a sheet of paper, and then we will put it in your foldable section of your notebook.